Man, this is amazing. And it is. All right, joining me now is Brian Bulaga. What Pebble, do we still have that about his opinion on the Packers many, many weeks ago?
Yeah, I'll grab it right now.
What did he tell us he was?
Stoked
About the Green Bay Packers. I think we need to hear that just to compare it with how he might feel today. That's really the standard.
Yeah, I mean, I still feel very good about the Green Bay Packers today. I still felt good about the Packers.
That's not the phrase that I'm looking for. The question is, sir, are you stoked about the Green Bay Packers? The way you were after 2 games.
Yeah, I'm stoked about.
Right.
I mean, especially that performance last night. I was stoked about that performance last night. I thought it was very good. The only thing I wasn't stoked about was the run game. I wasn't stoked about the run game. I didn't like that.
It's true.
That wasn't
under 100 yards, I believe.
Under 40 yards. Under 40
for the
yards.
Game.
For Jacobs.
No.
For Jacobs.
Oh, Jacob. Well, that's the issue they can bring up. For Jacobs, yes, but not for Wilson. Wilson put up some good numbers.
I get that. I'm worried about our number one back.
Yeah. So it's not just the running game. It's the Jacobs running game. Okay.
Yeah. I'm worried. I'm worried about our number one back. Yes. It would. That's my
Are you
biggest
worried
concern.
about him? Are you worried about the blocking for him?
I'm not worried about him. I'm worried about what's happening with him in the game, and why can't we get him going in the run game? That is my concern. And I understand when he's in the game, teams are very queued up, and aware that he's there. Hey, there's a good chance that he gets the ball, but you know what? That's what happens when you have a premier back, and the line and the tight ends and everyone needs to know. That's what happens when you have premier backs. Defenses are going to cue in on it, and you got to be able to block the looks, no matter what it is, right? You have to be able to do it. So yeah, I'm a little bit nervous about what's going on, and obviously I didn't listen to Matt LaFleur's presser. I was told on KBN that Matt said that the blocking's been bad, and that you watch the tape. I haven't watched this game back again on all 22. It was a late game last night. I had stuff going on today. I haven't watched it back. But if I had to guess, he's probably accurate on that. If I had to take a wild guess, if I'm being honest, the blocking probably wasn't good based on those numbers.
But I don't understand. They scored 35 points every time. Okay, let's go through the second half. Possession. Touchdown, possession, touchdown, possession, touchdown, possession, field goal. Brian Bulaga, may I just state this clearly? I don't give a damn how well you run the ball when you score a touchdown on every possession. Did I yell loudly enough? I don't understand how you could even think about that. Because whatever we're doing, we're kicking butt. Maybe they're overplaying. I mean, we're looking at what they're doing and destroying them, and you go, yeah, but we didn't run the ball. Please explain.
I'll put it this way. You're going to care about it. You're going to care about it when you go into a game in January, and throwing for 350 yards is just not an option. It's just not an option. You're not going to be able to do it. Or you go into a game and the conditions aren't right, or it's raining, or it's snowing, and you're just not able to do that. And you just can't do that. And you have to be able to run the ball. And
all right, I have another question.
Okay.
Now I get it, and I'm not going to dispute that. That is the benefit of having a spectacular tight end, because throwing to the tight end is somewhat similar to running the ball. You don't need much time. And so it's why I think many years you look at the success of Super Bowl teams, there seems to be some connection to having a good tight end. If they did not have Tucker Kraft, I would totally join your club. With Tucker Kraft or the ability to throw to your running back short, I'm not as. Go ahead.
Okay. So now we're going to substitute throwing. First of all, I'm not going to say that not giving Tucker Kraft the ball is a bad idea. I'm not. First of all, let me just state that clearly. Okay. But I'm not going to substitute throwing the ball to Tucker Kraft for the run game. Like I can't. Yeah, okay. No. I can't do that. I just can't do that. And why I say that is because if we all of a suddenly now, right, decide that as an offense for the Green Bay Packers, which it is, based on, and again, maybe philosophy has changed there, which I doubt it has, and maybe it has.
I wish to inform you, Mr. Bulaga, that your head coach is a passing guy, right? I mean, am I wrong?
Built off run and play action. Yes, built off run and play action. Yes, he is.
He believes you move the ball more by successful passing than by successful running. How you execute that, I'll believe whatever you tell me. But do you believe that I'm accurate there, or am I wrong on that too?
That he's a pass first.
That he believes you score and move the ball more by passing than you do by running.
I think as a head coach and as a play caller, Matt will do what is working best, as we saw last year. Because how we ran the football last year was very, very good, and we were a run-first team. I don't think anyone's doubting that. Look at the way we ran the football last year. Okay, so
prior years.
So now we're going back to the fact that he's not just a pass first head coach.
Well, he's coached there 7 years. We've seen the pass. 6 of the 7?
Well, look who's been pulling the trigger. It's been Aaron, and it's been pretty good. And I mean, let's be real. And to be honest with you, you kind of look at 2019 when he first got there. We were just getting the thing going, and it was still the whole scheme was fresh. So obviously, you're going to rely heavily on the quarterback, and it's going to be a lot of throwing, play action, and it took us a while to even get that run game even going. And once we did, Aaron Jones picked it up, and it became a better run game. I believe the next year I left, they were even better running the football, and I think it continued on. And then obviously Jordan's first year, they were really good running the football. They were really good. Aaron Jones, I think, had a really nice year, especially that 8-game stretch that towards the end of the season they ran the ball really well, right? And then last year, Jacobs was obviously Jacobs, right? Mm-hmm. I think there's no doubt about that. And this year, we're seeing the run game struggle, but Jordan is playing lights out. He's playing really well. I think Jordan is playing phenomenal football, but that's why I think Matt, he understands what is working, and he's going to continue to go with what's working. He's not going to try to force something that's not there. I think he's very smart with that, but he also, I think, understands that it can't continue that way because teams will start to adjust to that. They will adjust. The teams always do. They will adjust to it. We're also talking about a Pittsburgh Steelers team that was ranked 31st against the pass.
Yes,
right?
They're horrible.
So we're talking about that. So why wouldn't Matt attack that? If you can stop the edge rushers, which they did, why wouldn't you attack them through the air, right? So now we're getting into this situation where if we're just going to attack teams through the air, and we're going to just say, hey, the run game is what it is. We just scored X amount of points through passing it. Who cares about the run game? We're going to get into a situation where teams they're going to just key in on this. They're going to key in on it. They're going to play coverage, and eventually they're going to flood zones, and it's going to be hard, and pass rush will eventually get home. And then we're going to go, we need to run the ball. Why are we running the ball? We should run the ball.
I would agree with that.
Okay, so, like, we can't have this both ways. We can't have it both ways. So, like, that's why I'm siding with Matt today with what he said in his presser. I'm with Matt, and I'm sorry. Yes, Wilson had a decent day running the football, but, like,
yes.
I think we all want to. I think we can all say that we want Jacobs to be running the football a certain type of way. I think we can all be on the same page there.
I would agree, but they have multiple weapons. And for example, if I were Matt LaFleur and they asked about the running game, I would say, please understand, you take into account the opposition. The team we played yesterday is maybe the worst in the league at defending the pass. It wouldn't make any sense to take any other approach that didn't lead with that. Would I like to run the ball a little bit better? Yes, but not against the Pittsburgh Steelers, because given the weapons we have passing the ball and their struggles, I think this is more coming because this is becoming a trend. The run game struggles is becoming a trend, right? Like, I think that's more of where this is coming from, right? Like, to me, that's what I'm looking at. It's not. I would ask you that what a coach has to come up with something. Look, he could say whatever he wants. The second half against the Pittsburgh Steelers on the road was arguably the best half of the season. The offense was outstanding. The defense was outstanding.
Yes, I agree. I'm not saying that it wasn't, but if I'm just saying
you're worried about the running game with Josh Jacobs.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, because I have a very, very weird feeling, right? We're going to get into the business end of this season, the business end of it, and that's December and January football.
Yes.
And that's going to be a part of the offense that we need. I know it. I know it. And why I know that is because I've experienced those months, and I wish that that part of our offense was going to support the pass game more. Like, I know that.
Now my questions will be how we need to judge it the Brian Bulaga way. And again, I am at Potawatomi. We will have the special show at 6 o'clock with Gary Ellerson and Greg Matzik there here every week. This is a special appearance because I love just to go to this place because whatever sporting event you're watching, be it the NFL, be it the World Series, be it tennis, be it anything, there's no better place than the sports book at Potawatomi. I got to make sure I have the proper name now. Is it Potawatomi Casino and Hotel? Okay. At Potawatomi Casino Hotel, because to me you got to go to the sports book. It's just unbelievable. Screen is bigger than North Dakota for the one game that you watch. All right, so now we're going to break, and then we're going to get Brian Bulaga so that we can learn how to assess the running game. Because my view of the running game yesterday would be, it could have been better, but there are these games, and this isn't the first one, where Wilson looks better than Jacobs. I'm not saying he is better than Jacobs. That would be idiotic. But I don't know how that is. It's the same line. It's the same team you're playing against. I don't know if the holes are bigger for Wilson for whatever the situation, or he hits through the hole quicker. We will address that as well. Running game, Green Bay Packers, Brian Bulaga, next.
More of the Homer Hour coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
The number is
slowdowns across the system this afternoon. Eastbound 94, you'll be slow from about 76th Street through the stadium into downtown Milwaukee. On the westbound side, you'll be slow from downtown out through the stadium interchange, also slow right around the zoo. 4145 southbound Highway Q into the zoo, you'll be slow starting at about Good Hope Road through Capitol Drive. On the northbound side of 41, you'll be slow from Watertown Plank Road through Capitol. Northbound 43 from downtown up to Brown Deer Road, you'll be slow in and around the Market interchange up to about Fond du Lac Avenue. On the southbound side, you'll be on your brakes from Locust through the Marquette until you get to about Lincoln. Your Victory Monday brought to you by Palermo's Pizza is Wisconsin's hometown pizza with delicious brands like Palermo's, Connie's, Urban Pie and Screamin' Sicilian. Palermo's has your game day covered. You can find Palermo's in your local grocer's freezer. Mostly clear skies overnight tonight, low 46. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy, a high of 55 degrees. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Mike Spalding at 94.5 ESPN.
Stay up to date on the green and gold all season. The Green and Gold Fix podcast is brought to you by Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Luxury stay, elite play, unwind in sophisticated comfort. Win big, dine, and experience the events in Milwaukee.
Do you worry about how much someone drinks?
Do you feel neglected or unloved? If you answered yes to any of these questions, you are not alone.
Al-Anon and Alateen can help. Call 1-866-200-0223 or visit alanon.org/help.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor.
What does the skeleton say before dinner? A bon appetit. And why did the ghost go to the bar? For the booze. Yeah, Halloween jokes can be corny. Hi, this is Marie from Discount Liquor. Since 1960, we've provided the most spooktacular selection and savings in town. From skull-shaped vodka bottles and pumpkin cream liqueurs to adult trick-or-treat bags and your favorite seasonal wines and beers. We've got the spirits to get you in the spirit. Combine our selection with everyday low prices and 2 convenient locations, and Discount Liquor is the one trick-or-treat stop you can't skip. Discount Liquor, locally owned and family operated with 2 locations, in Milwaukee on 51st in Oklahoma, and in downtown Waukesha on Barstow and Maine. See all of our specials at discountliquorinc.com.
Discount Liquor.
Want your brand to turn heads and win hearts?
Captivate Exhibits can bring your brand to life by transforming lobbies, creating history walls, and beautifying facilities.
For over 32 years, Captivate has been the MVP of trade show exhibits and workplace design and fabrication. Let Captivate craft immersive branded environments that tell your story boldly, beautifully, and with purpose at events and around the office.
Score big by making your next event or your own space unforgettable. Create something legendary by getting started today at CaptivateExhibits.com.
Homer here from ESPN Milwaukee. What makes living at Three Pillars so special? Let's hear from my friend Dave.
The campus is beautiful. For me, nature is my church, and I love being outside. We live by the Bark River, and it's just it's calming. It just calms my soul. I just love it. A lot of the people, I'm talking about 100-year-old people, 90 years old, say they credit Three Pillars with living longer.
Homer for Window Nation. It's October, and if you've got old windows, that means you're back to dealing with chilly air seeping into your home. Eliminate annoying drafts once and for all with Window Nation in Milwaukee. This month, buy 2 windows, get 2 for free, plus pay nothing for 2 years. With the holidays coming up, it's a big deal, and they can do it so quickly. Don't miss out on free windows and 0 payments for 2 years with Window Nation, proud partner of the Milwaukee Brewers. Visit windownation.com before October 31st to get started.
This is the Homer Hour on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Listen, I'm stoked for the way that they play.
Stoked, yeah.
I'm stoked for the way they play.
Yes, he was stoked long ago. He's got a little thing about the running game. I, on the other hand, am totally stoked. This team doesn't make the NFC Championship game. I'm disappointed. This team is capable of winning the Super Bowl. Doesn't mean they will, but they've got Parsons there. Everything is there. They have one of the best, if not the best, tight end now. They have a number of different options offensively. They are not the favorite in the NFC. Potawatomi says the Detroit Lions, 6 plus 650. Green Bay's at 750. So I'm just ready. Let's roll it out and play this year and then roll it out and play again next year. And now we will have the 3 pillars.
Every game tells a story.
Oh, you want the full story?
From big-time players
Jaden Reed, make a man miss.
to clutch drives.
Love going to throw a fade here to the corner. It is caught for the touchdown.
It's time to give you the 3 pillars that built it. Independent living, assisted living, memory care, skilled nursing, and rehab. 3 Pillars Senior Living Communities provides top-ranked care and service in a beautiful lake country setting. Visit 3pillars.org today.
Yes, 3 pillars, and as we have 3, that means each is 100 acres because the place is 300 acres, which I prefer to call a city, but not. All right, I can't wait for Brian Bulaga for his 3 pillars, given the run game will definitely not be one, correct?
Correct. It will not be one.
All right.
It won't be one.
Well, you don't have to give any order. It's a game where you could pick any. So, all right, your 3 pillars. And again, realize the Packers put on the road a historic whooping. 28-3 was the margin in the second half until that late game touchdown.
Yep.
Take it away, Doc.
Yep. So my first pillar will be the defense in the second half. The performance that they put on in the second half, I think they allowed, a couple first downs? I think that's all it was. I think a couple first downs in the second half. And
punt, field goal, punt, 3 and out, or punt, and then they had the fumble. And after that, they got the touchdown when the game was already over.
Yeah, so they didn't give up much. They didn't give up much in that second half. It wasn't. They didn't do. And why I was so impressed with that, because we've seen the defense kind of have issues in the second half the last few weeks, right? And that's kind of been a little bit of an issue for them. Well, not this week. They were absolutely fantastic in the second half. They almost came alive. They almost it was like a reverse. They played fantastic in the second half. I don't want to say names because you may say names for pillars. I don't know. I don't want to.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want. Yeah, you can do names. I mean, that was the Parsons defense that everybody was hoping for. Aaron Rodgers looked. Aaron Rodgers looked worried to me, or bothered, or forced, or worried about the pressure. You played with him. What is the best way to describe the way Aaron Rodgers appeared in the second half, if it is even the case of that? Because I mean, I could be making it up, but he seemed concerned with the pressure on so many plays.
Yeah, he was. It seemed, and again, I don't know, but he was very cognizant of the rush, of the pass rush.
Yeah,
he was
there you go.
He was very aware of where Rashawn and obviously Micah were, and Micah was rushing a lot up the middle. So Aaron was very aware of where Micah was.
Do you think Aaron was surprised, or that just by nature creates an additional problem for quarterbacks who like to, against pressure, step up into the pocket, right? That's one way to handle outside pressure.
Yes, because Aaron likes to step up and out. So Aaron will bait DNs to run high and wide and then step up and out. Well, if Micah's just running straight at you, you can't really step out of that, right? The only thing you can try to do is try to avoid it. And then if you avoid one, somehow if you avoid Micah, well, chances are you're allowing other guys to beat you at that point. That's how Rashawn got that first sack, which still was a great rush by Rashawn anyway. So, the pass rush was there. It was there, and he knew it. And when you're thinking about pass rushers and then thinking about throwing the ball downfield and all that, that's a lot of things to consider. But again, the defense was very, very, very good in the second half, and they did exactly what they needed to do to put that thing away and give the offense everything they needed to go out there and put up the points that they needed to do in the second half. So
because if they didn't, you have Dallas again. You have Dallas again.
Yes.
You have the Dallas game again. That didn't happen to the defense. So the defense, pass rush. All right. Any other pillars that you wish to to mention?
I mean, obviously Tucker Kraft. Obviously Tucker
All
Kraft.
right, and I want to help people out. I heard it on the last show. He has no chance, zero chance of being the best tight end in Packer history. The best tight end in Packer history is a guy by the name of Ron Kramer. And you have to be old. He played in the early Lombardi years, then for family reasons joined the Lions. There is no chance for any player in the history of the Green Bay Packers to be better than Ron Kramer in terms of catching the ball and also blocking. Every player that played for Lombardi, when asked who was the best athlete on the Green Bay Packers, Ron Kramer. So all you have to do is learn and do a little research. The power sweep by Vince Lombardi, which is historic.
Yep.
Everybody on the team will tell you it was historic more than anything else because of the greatness of Ron Kramer. The power sweep required that the tight end go out and destroy someone, which then opened up the area for Jerry Kramer and Fuzzy Thurston. So I hope somebody informs Tucker Kraft your goal to be the second best tight end in the history of the Green Bay Packers. All right.
Yeah.
But he's unbelievable.
Yeah, he's fantastic. And
I heard someone say you don't need a running game as good as you might think because their tight end is so good.
No. I don't know. I don't know who told you that, but that's not accurate.
That ended today. We'll move. We'll scratch that one and come up with a new theory. That one was not disagreed with. That was destroyed by one Brian Bulaga. All right.
Because I'll tell you what will make a tight end even better: a great run game that you can do a play action game off of. That would be make a tight end even better. But regardless of the fact, Tucker Kraft showed last night how good he is in open space and making guys miss and yards after the catch. He is so good in open space. And he's elusively fast. You see him moving in space and making guys miss. It was really fun to watch, right?
Which isn't the norm for even good tight ends.
No, it just isn't. It's a
they
weird
go
trait
through them rather than around them, and he gets to choose.
Yes, he could do both. And I'm not going to toot my own horn on the pregame show yesterday. On the pregame show yesterday, my Gruber Law Office's one call. I said Tucker Kraft 2 touchdowns, and there it is. I made the call. And that's all.
And that's all.
It is what it is.
So he was so good. He is 2 of the 3 pillars.
Yes.
I wanted to ask you because, you play what does a tight end do to help the offense in the biggest way? In the offense that you had with Aaron Rodgers, right? And then people talk about Jermichael Finley, or what is easier and for whom based on having a tight end that's a pain to deal with?
Well, what it is he's a mismatch for DBs if they have to guard him. So if safeties have to guard him, he's a bad matchup for those guys. And if linebackers have to guard him, he will outrun linebackers. So he's going to beat linebackers. And then obviously a guy like Tucker Kraft, he's good in line. And what I mean by in line, putting his hand in the dirt and blocking. So he's a very good in line blocker. So he's good to help the offensive line in the run game. That's something that he's very good at as well. So he is a three-down player.
Right.
And that's rare to have in the tight end room these days. There's not many of those guys.
So you had a great offense with Aaron Rodgers. Can you imagine it being possible that a defense against the Packers says our number one concern is Tucker Kraft above everything else? He's our number one concern. Can that be, or is that just not possible?
It should. It's possible right now with the way he's playing.
Right.
It's possible right now because he's an issue. He's a big issue for teams. He's a problem, man, because like they do a lot to him. He could go out wide. He gets a lot of inline screens. And again, and this is again why I say it. If the run game gets going and the play action to him will be enormous. It'll be enormous because he will sneak then in over the top of linebackers, biting up to stop the run, and he will be wide open. He'll be wide open running through the middle of the field.
And then he can get more yardage than most tight ends, which means he's an even bigger threat.
Yes. So it has to get going. It has to get going. Like there's more that comes off it than just the run game for Jacobs.
I'm sold. I believe when what Brian Bulaga says. We'll see if Rob Demovsky does as well. Again, I am at Potawatomi Casino and Hotel. We have the Potawatomi Sportsbook, which is spectacular. If you haven't been here, greatest place you will have ever watched a sporting event. And, of course, again, so you have the Potawatomi Sportsbook, great food, great everything, in addition to incredible ways to watch sporting events. And the show is coming up 6 to 8 with Greg Matzik and Gary Ellison. They talk about the NFL. But Rob Demovsky, next.
The Homer Hour is back after this on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Still dealing with a number of slowdowns across the system this evening. Eastbound 94, you'll be slow from about 76th Street through the Stadium interchange to about 35th. On the westbound side of 94, you'll be slow out of the Marquette interchange through the Stadium interchange. 4145 southbound from Highway Q into the Zoo, tapping the brakes from Mill Road through Capitol Drive. On the northbound side, you'll be slow from about North Avenue up through Hampton. Northbound 43 from downtown up to Brown Deer Road, you'll be slow from the Marquette to Walnut. And on the southbound side, you'll be hitting the brakes at about Locust into the Marquette interchange through about National Avenue. It's independent living, assisted living, memory care, skilled nursing, and rehabilitation. Three Pillars Senior Living Communities provides top-ranked care and service in a beautiful lake country setting. Visit threepillars.org today. Mostly clear skies overnight tonight, a low of 46. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, a high of 55 degrees. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Mike Spalding on 94.5 ESPN.
Fans, don't let dirt and road grime bench your car this October baseball season. Step up to the plate with Tsunami Express Car Wash, where every visit delivers the MVP shine. With unlimited washes, fast lane access, and free vacuums, you can keep your ride looking like a champion all season long for less than $1 a day. And with 7 Milwaukee area locations, including New Berlin, it's easy to score big no matter where you're headed. Join the winning team today at TsunamiExpress.com. That's Tsunami Express Car Wash. Wash, chill, repeat.
I've been to my fair share of green and gold games, and the best way to get there is with Accutrans Group. At Good Karma Brands and ESPN Milwaukee, we use Accutrans Group to get our partners to and from Green Bay, and it's always first class. From stadiums to concerts and tailgates, your game day fun starts the moment you step on board. Sit back, relax, and let their professional chauffeurs handle the traffic while you enjoy the ride. Accutrans Group is Milwaukee's premier ground transportation, available 24/7 with sedans, SUVs, limos, vans, and buses. Book today at AccuTransGroup.com.
How do you stay humble when you're America's #1 wiper blade? That's what we're currently dealing with at Rain-X. Is it even possible to humble brag when you bully Mother Nature like we do? Do we sound too conceited if we keep repeating how Rain-X is the #1 brand of wiper blades in America? No, we'll take a lesson from our wipers and just keep doing our job with humility. As America's #1 wiper blade. Rain-X. Outsmart the elements.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
So my sandwich shop was opening in a week and I needed signage.
A week is plenty of time to panic.
I went to Staples. They printed banners, posters, and flyers to promote my grand opening.
All in time for your grand closing.
Nope, I had it same day. I even got $125 off my order.
Hold the onions. For all your business printing, Staples.
That was easy.
Now save up to $125 on custom print orders. In-store and online, same day if ordered by 12 p.m. Into 11/1 exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details.
The 24th annual A Novel event is coming. Sharp Literacy's yearly fundraiser will happen on October 28th from 5 to 8 p.m. at the Baird Center. Green Bay Packers all-time leading receiver and Super Bowl champion Donald Driver will be the featured guest and keynote speaker. Funds raised at A Novel event will support the delivery of Sharp's STEAM-based education program to thousands of K-3 through 5th grade students and educators across Milwaukee, Waukesha, and Racine. For tickets, visit sharpliteracy.org.
The delicious taste of victory deserves something equally superior. Cheer on your team with Michelob Ultra. At 2.6 carbs and 95 calories, it's a superior smooth taste worth playing for. Grab a Michelob Ultra Superior Light Beer as you cheer your team on. Michelob Ultra, official sponsor of the Milwaukee Bucks. Enjoy a Michelob Ultra at Kelly's Bleachers Big Bend, Distillery Richfield, Tom's Watch Bar in Milwaukee, and Maddie's in New Berlin. Please enjoy responsibly.
You're listening to the Homer Hour on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Victory Monday is brought to you by Palermo's Pizza, Wisconsin's hometown pizza with delicious brands like Palermo's, Connie's Urban Pie, and Screamin' Sicilian. Palermo's has your game day covered. Find Palermo's in your local grocer's freezer. Rob Demovsky, to be introduced by Brian Bulaga, who's nice to everyone unless you tell him the running game isn't that important.
Rob, good evening. How are you?
I'm good, Brian. A little tired from these East Coast night games, but I'll survive.
Yeah. Rob, do you think the running game's important?
I'll tell you what, Brian, the running game's important for a number of reasons, one of which is it takes so much pressure off of the quarterback, and the quarterback doesn't have to do everything, right?
Yep.
And, I remember Amon Green had this season, I think it was 2003, where he rushed for 1,882 yards, if I'm not mistaken. And I asked Brett, are you guys like a running team now? And he got all offended by it. It was like he took it personally. But like the best offenses that Matt LaFleur has had here, to probably 2020 and 2021, were so run play action based that, I think it's important. Now, do I think offenses evolve and can become, less dependent on a run game? Absolutely. And maybe that's what this Packers team is doing. I don't know if that's what Homer's getting at or not, but maybe this Packers team.
No, I'm getting at you need to have some balance, but teams pass to set up the run more than the other way around, and so now some have gone to the run. But for example, yesterday's game, it doesn't matter what they rushed. When you have an offense that dominates and scores a touchdown, I'm happy with however you do it. But as Brian appropriately said, as the year goes on later on, you're going to have to run better than that. But I didn't watch that game going, man, they should have run the ball better. I just said, Wilson looks better than Jacobs, and I know he's not. That's what I said about the run game yesterday.
Here's the thing, Homer, though, I think the fourth quarter maybe makes us forget about how much they struggled, especially in the first half. And maybe a more effective run game in the first half would have allowed them to, put up some more points earlier, because they really only had one good drive in that first half.
All right, I'm going to the cot even at Potawatomi. You guys take over. Doc?
I guess I don't want to beat a dead horse on this, but Rob, what do you think? Because, you look at Jacobs, games this year, 66, 84, 30, 86, 93, 55, then 33. What do you attribute it to? What do you think's going on? Because obviously I love Jacobs as a back. So I'm not looking at Jacobs as something's going on with Jacobs, right? So what do you think is going on with when he gets in the game? Obviously he brings a lot of attention, but that was the case last year too.
It was, and here's what I think happens, and maybe this happened when you played, but it seems like it's happening even more now, is that, as they, meaning the Packers and their offensive staff, start preparing for the week, and I think the way, I've never been in a game planning room, but sort of the way I understand it is you develop a game plan based on the way you think teams are going to play you. And we've heard it, started to hear it a lot this year. We didn't hear it so much the last couple years. We heard it early in the LaFleur tenure, but now I'm starting to hear more that people saying, coaches, players, that teams are not playing them the way they play everybody else, right? That's the tendency that you prepare for based on what you've seen on film from a team, and then you get in the game, and that's not the way they play you. And I wonder if that, not making excuses for them, but I do wonder if that maybe gets them, thrown off a little bit and a little bit slow to start in the run game. If that makes sense.
I got it. No, I get it, and I guess my question would be like, you see, and Homer makes a point. Wilson gets in the game, and I think he rushed for 11 for 62 or 61. I don't know what it was exactly.
And he had some catches.
productive.
He had about 90 total yards, whereas Jacobs had like half that, 40.
Do you think, and this is just me, right? Like, and this is just, and again, I don't know. Wilson seems when he goes in the game, they run a lot of true zone with him. They run a lot of zone scheme with him, and when Jacobs is in, they do run a lot of duo. They just do, because that's what and true inside zone with Jacobs.
Yeah.
Do you think that this offensive line currently right now, they're not blocking well with what Jacobs loves to run? Like that's the way that I'm not trying to assume things, but I'm just
I know.
But you know what I'm saying?
I do, and it's a good question because LaFleur actually was asked about that. Like, is the offense playing differently, or are you doing anything different when Jacobs is in the backfield versus Wilson? And LaFleur said, not really, but some of it is circumstances, and sometimes we just did a better job blocking on the plays that we called for Wilson. But that could speak to what you're talking about. There were certain plays where it just looked like it was blocked better when 23 was in the game versus 8. But I also think some of that is maybe do teams and defenses, maybe the coordinator, the play caller, maybe call something a little bit different when they see Wilson in the game. I can think of one run that Wilson had where it was definitely the box was definitely not loaded. So are they not loading the box when Wilson is in there? Sure, that's a possibility. There's no question about that.
Yeah. All right. So moving on from next, I know Homer. He's gonna kill
I've
me if I keep
accepted
going
defeat. I'm moving on.
What do you? I mean, Tucker Kraft's night was unbelievable, right? I mean, what do you think about that? And kind of, I mean, to me, he's kind of emerged as the number one target, which is crazy for the Green Bay Packers because we go back to look at the number one targets of the Green Bay Packers, and obviously you go recent times, you go Tay, you go Jordy, you go Jennings, you go Driver. It's always been wideouts. Right. Now we're kind of looking at this team, and it's a tight end. So, like, what do you? I mean, how the evolution of that?
It's needed because for how many years since Devontae left has there not been a true number one target? And I've said all along that, in my opinion, like you don't necessarily have to have a receiver be your number one target. I mean, there's some darn good tight end. I mean, George Kittle and when he was at his finest, and Kelsey, and I mean, you can look up and down. I mean, you can go back further to some of the Hall of Famers like Antonio Gates and Tony Gonzalez and people like that. Like all I can say is that and I've said this at a couple of games as the games kind of were nearing halftime. I said, I know this offense is a progression-based offense, but sometimes don't you just have to make a concerted effort to get the ball into the hands of your most dynamic playmakers, and your most dynamic playmakers are Tucker Kraft, and I still believe Matthew Golden could be in that category, and then now with Christian Watson back. And that's no disrespect to Romeo Doubs, but Romeo Doubs he's a really solid possession-type receiver, and that's not a knock on him. He's really good at what he does. But Tucker Kraft is, I mean, like the numbers that he has put up so far this year, he's got more plays over 50 yards than I think the rest of the tight ends in the league. Nobody else has more than one, and he's got 2 or 3 of them. Like his yards after catch, by far the best of all the tight ends in the league right now. And I think the rest of the league is catching on a little bit because, his 2 biggest games were both in prime time, right? The Washington Thursday night game and this one. But I'm not a big, he's on pace for this because the season ebbs and flows and the numbers change based on, what he had. But if you look at his numbers, I was looking at this on the plane on the way home. He's on pace for, I think, 72 catches, a little over 1,100 yards and 14 touchdowns. Now, the greatest single season by Packers tight ends, I think the franchise record, I think maybe Jermichael has I think it's about 800 yards. I think the most catches is maybe 60 yards or 60 catches by a tight end. So, Tucker Kraft could be doing things that no Packers tight end has ever done before.
Yeah, just ridiculous. But Homer
the price is going way up too. I mean, let's not forget.
I'll stand by this. His hope is to be the second best tight end ever for the Packers. No one will be as good as Ron Kramer was, and you don't have to believe me. Talk to anybody who played for the Packers in that era.
If I remember right about what Ron Kramer did, and I never saw him play, but looking this up, if I'm not mistaken, his yards per catch average was close to 17. Now I know, I bet he only had. I would guess that if he probably never had 40 catches in a season, or maybe even close to that. But I think I remember looking at this I don't know when, years ago, but I want to say he averaged, and maybe you can look this up, but he averaged 17 yards a catch for multiple seasons, which I agree. But just in terms of
let me emphasize the key to his greatness was that he, more than any other player on that team, was responsible for the greatness of the power sweep. Again, when asked by the players.
Yeah. Yeah,
anyway,
there you go.
Go ahead. So I've made my peace. I've supported the new Don Hudson. I know nobody cares. It's old.
Hey, here's the thing real quick.
Rules. Go back, Doc.
Here's the thing real quick. I hate comparing eras because you can't compare them. So Ron Kramer or those guys were the best players of their era. Tucker Kraft's probably going to be the best tight end of the modern era, or this last 20, 30 years, or whatever it is.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah,
so
I agree.
What Rob? I guess, what did Jordan have to say after the game? Because obviously that performance, fantastic performance. Yeah. What did he have to say? Was he pretty nonchalant about it?
He was totally nonchalant, Brian. That's exactly what you would expect him to be. My favorite part of it, though, was what everybody else said about him. I mean, some of the quotes were just incredible. Rashawn Gary had maybe the quote of the year. He said, "Look, he is him. Get the crust out of your eyes and see it." What a great quote.
Wow, that is a great line.
Get the crust out of your eyes. Basically, it's telling everybody to wake up. Micah Parsons, I asked him about it, and he said, I said, look, Aaron did it for so long, but for Jordan to do what he did, not only just on that stage, but with Aaron on the other side, Micah said he's the successor, he's the up-and-comer, and he's shown it. So, I just think the respect level for Jordan Love in that locker room, I think it went way, way up last night. Not that people didn't know he was capable, but when you do it and do it on that stage with all the hype that was surrounding that game, you know how the cred that carries in the locker room with other players, right?
Absolutely.
To me, that was the most telling thing. Jordan's, at least at this point in his career, Jordan's. Look, I'm just going to say it. Jordan is kind of boring with us, and that's fine. He doesn't necessarily. That's not part of his job description is to be great in the media. But it makes our jobs. He's a really nice guy. Jordan is a very, very nice young man and is super polite. But for our purposes, doesn't say a whole lot. But the fact that those other guys, are starting to speak up about him and speak about him in those terms, I think that tells you the confidence that they have in him. I mean, what is he at now? 13 touchdowns and 2 interceptions, and his completion percentage.
It's like the last 8 games of his first year, right? He was
It is.
16.
I was just thinking that. Yeah, he was 18-1 and 18 touchdowns, 1 interception, and the completion percentage, I think is still. I think it's 70.9% or something like that. So, to me, that's that's where things stand with Jordan. And when your team believes in you, you don't have to say a whole lot for yourself.
Yeah,
Rob,
I
thanks
agree.
for the time. Hard to believe we're running late. It's my fault because I just had to talk too much about Ron Kramer. All right, Curly Lambeau next week when Rob's on. Thanks, Rob. Fourth quarter with the doctor of football, Brian Bulaga, next.
More of the Homer Hour coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app. Stay up to date on the green and gold all season. The Green and Gold Fix podcast is brought to you by Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Luxury stay, elite play, unwind in sophisticated comfort. Win big, dine, and experience the events in Milwaukee.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For over 50 years, Covenant House has been helping youth in crisis. To learn more, go to covenanthouse.org today.
Looking to heat up a career in HVAC? Dick & Trough Heating and Cooling in Milwaukee is now hiring HVAC installers and service technicians. Family owned and operated, Dick & Trough offers competitive wages, a 401k match, health insurance benefits, and a winning, positive team culture that sets them apart. This is more than a job. It's a chance to grow with a company that truly values its people. Apply now to become their newest team member at dickandtrough.com. Dick & Trough Heating and Cooling. Come see the difference. Apply at dickandtrough.com.
An ESPN Radio Extra Point with Chris Canty.
I think it's fair for everybody to meet the Pittsburgh Steelers with a degree of skepticism. They have earned that. Their defense is old, and their offense doesn't have enough firepower to overcome the inconsistency that you see on the other side of the ball. They need more juice on the edges of that offense because it can't be the DK Metcalf show the entire time. And here's the thing. I have all respect for Jalen Warren, their running back, but let's be honest. He's a complimentary piece. He's not a bell cow. He's not a guy that's going to dictate front and coverage. So as great as the schemes that Arthur Smith is drawing up when it comes to the innovative run plays, the ground attack from the Pittsburgh Steelers, they just need more on offense. Aaron Rodgers has proven that he's still a competent quarterback, but he is in his 40s. He needs more help. If Tom Brady at this stage of his career had the kind of help he had down in Tampa, why the hell would you not think Aaron Rodgers needs more help with the supporting cast in Pittsburgh?
Now that I'm a dad, I can't stop thinking about what would happen to my kids if something happened to me, like losing the house or not affording college.
Yeah, that used to keep me up at night too. It's why I finally got life insurance from Ethos. It's 100% online. No medical exams, just a few health questions. I got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day.
I never realized it was that simple. Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game.
Rates may vary. Bill monthly. Sample rate 10-year term life policy for a 35-year-old healthy non-smoking male.
Your fantasy roster is set, the Smack Talk is heating up, and this season, ESPN Bet is giving you more ways to ride with your squad. Introducing the ESPN Bet Fan Center, where you can instantly link and bet on your fantasy teams right in the ESPN Bet app. An enhanced sports betting experience only from ESPN Bet, the sportsbook for sports fans. Download the app and link your ESPN Bet and ESPN accounts to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details.
Hey sports fans, looking to level up your next private event? V Private Bar Services is your game changer. Move beyond the ordinary. V Private Bar Services crafts custom cocktails tailored to your brand and your guests' taste. Imagine a bar experience that's as unique as your business. Our expert mixologists will create a memorable experience that your clients and team will rave about. From signature cocktails to full-service bars, we've got you covered. Be the MVP of your next event. Visit vprivatebar.com to book today.
What's better than cheering for the Packers with an ice-cold beer in your hand? Cheering for the Packers with an ice-cold beer in your hand that you got for 10% off. And when you get Packers checking from Associated Bank, you get even more. Like 10% off food and 10% off drinks on game day. Like that ice-cold beer in your hand. Plus 15% off Pro Shop gear. Only with Packers checking. Associated Bank. Bank of the Packers. Learn more at associatedbank.com/Packers. Member FDIC.
Welcome back to the Homer Hour on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
At Potawatomi Casino and Hotel at the Potawatomi Sportsbook, the Gary Ellis and Greg Mastick show coming up as it normally does from 6 until 8. This is the Brian Bulaga Homer Hour discussing the importance of running the football for the Packers the rest of the season. Aside from that, are you watching anything? We haven't even really discussed the field goal kicking. I believe in the guy, and maybe they could have waited a week, or I'm going to keep two around for a while. But I don't know. You tell me. At some point, a team has to believe in the person, right? When the person says they can kick, or you do it, show it in practice. I don't know what's the standard when you're a successful player in terms of an injury. Doesn't the team just go to the player and say, "What's the deal?" or not?
Yeah, I mean, I think especially for kicking, I think you gotta trust in the player. Then obviously he must have kicked in practice, right? Like they must have shown in practice that he was good to go. And yeah, I mean, it's a hard one to say. I mean, I have faith in McManus. I think he's a veteran kicker. He's a good kicker. Maybe you should have waited another week. I still think you leave the second kicker on the roster. I still think you have to do that just in case something happens. You don't know the health of that quad, right? You don't know the health of it. I don't know if it's back to full strength yet. I don't know if he's okay. You don't know that. You just don't know. So I have faith in McManus. I mean, if he says he's okay, he's okay. But I just – you can't let the other guy go until McManus is back to McManus. That's the way I look at it.
And proving it on the field.
Yes, exactly. And it's not a
Whatever
thing.
that
It's
is.
not a thing. It's not a thing like you're telling McManus you got to prove yourself again. It's just, hey man, we think we have a championship team. All right, we think we have a championship team.
Yeah.
And if something happens to your quad again,
Yep.
we want to make sure that we're covered. And that's really
I
it.
agree. Victory Monday is brought to you by Palermo's Pizza, Wisconsin's hometown pizza, with delicious brands like Palermo's, Connie's, Urban Pie, and Screamin' Sicilian. Palermo's has your game day covered. Find Palermo's in your local grocer's freezer. We'll be with the Doctor of Football, Brian Balaga, later in the week, and he'll address anything else he thinks that I don't know jack about football. Anything close to not respecting the importance of the rushing game, if it exists, he'll think about it and announce it on Thursday. Thanks, Doc.
Yep, have a good one.
Potawatomi Casino and Hotel The Spot. Gary Ellis and Greg Masick next. This is Potawatomi Sportsbook. You got to come here. As good a place as you will ever go to follow and witness and watch a sporting event. Next.
Dealing with a number of slowdowns across the system this evening. Eastbound 94